People, welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, let's take a look at the Koch dynasty. I always found it very ironic that their last name was Koch, right, considering the kind of business that Lester Koch, aka Jim Brown, went into. Right. Now, people, you have to go back to the start. See, a lot of people, or most people, just hear say Dudus was the Don, and Dudus run off West Kingston. And it sounds like a smooth transition, but the reality is, it wasn't. The reality is, there are a lot of people who were opposed to Dudus becoming the Don, and those people were his own blood relatives, his own blood brothers. See, the Koch family had divisions. First of all, the family was split into two main sides. Of course, Jim Brown, of course, back in the day, Big Don, probably have women all over the place. So naturally, who knows how much pitney Jim Brown really have. But the pitney them were quote unquote count go like this. And with a lady by the name of Patricia, he has Mark, which is Jati. He has Christopher, which is Dudus, and there is Sandy. Most people don't know Sandy. That's the lady you see in the top left right there. Some people call her Sandy Brown, right? Now on the other side, you had Leighton Liberty Koch, and then you had Chris Royal. Now, people, guess Chris Royal name. I'm going to give you a little brief. Before I go any further, let me just show you how important names are. Chris Royal's name was Saint Aubin. Understand this, people. Jim Brown wanted his children to go to the best schools and almost live like, how would I say, a kind of like a uptown thing. When you listen to the names that Jim Brown gave his children, they are not the typical names you hear in a lower income community. I guarantee if you walk out the whole of Jamaica, you're not going to hear many Saint Aubins or many Mark Anthony. By the way, that is not Jati's real name, people. Mark Anthony, right? The historians among you know who Mark Anthony was. Of course, you're Christopher, right? You're Leighton, you're Sandra. So people, you can see Jim Brown, being a man of that stature, decide, you know what, I'm going to brand my children with some names. I'm not give them a little, a typical quote unquote ghetto name, right? I give them something where anywhere them going in the world, people are going to go, oh, Saint Aubin. People, that has to be one of the boastiest names I've ever heard, right? Chris Royal name, Saint Aubin. Now, the school where them go to, people, Jim Brown said him pitting them go at the quote unquote big schools in Jamaica. For example, Mark Anthony Koch, Jati, went to Woolmer's Boys, extremely prestigious. Leighton Liberty Koch went to Excelsior High. And of course, as you know, Dudus went to Arden High. Right? So you can see, people, Jim Brown seemed like him have a vision where him giving pitting them these bossy names, send them to these bossy schools. Right? But people, as I said, there was a divide in the family. See, the plan, according to Jim Brown, was to go like this. Jati would be the heir apparent. Jati would run the place. And I guess Christopher and Liberty and Sandra and the rest of them, they might play a role in the organization. But in my opinion, I don't think none of them was supposed to become the Don. I definitely don't think Jim Brown had any plans for Christopher, that is Dudus, to become any Don. Right? As I said, Jati was the one who was being groomed to be the Don. Jati was the prize bull for Jim Brown. Right? Of course, I'm sure he loved all his children, but people back then will tell you Jati was his prize bull. Right? Mark Anthony. People, I can't get over those names. Mark Anthony and Saint Aubin. Right? Jim Brown, listen, I have to give it to you. Those names are incredible. Right? They are talking about real bossy. Who knows? Maybe Jim Brown had some 116 vision. Yes, people, won't think about that. Saint Aubin, Mark Anthony, it sounds to me like Jim Brown would have some 116 ambition like this. So anyway, let's move on from the name. I'm just shocked. When I found out their real names, I was stunned at how boasted these names were. Right? Now, people, as I said, Jati was supposed to be the Don and run off the place, right, and take over until, of course, in 1992, while riding his bike, the man named Pan Maxfield had different plans, right? Jati was preparing a memorial for the former Don of West Kingston named Claudia Massum, right? And the man named shoot him off a bike. Now people that throw a big spanner into the plans. That incident turned the whole West Kingston on its head because that was completely, like, they could not see that one coming, right? Of course, you don't see death coming, but Jati get killed suddenly by Maxfield just like that. People, it was crazy thing, right? A whole heap of people by Maxfield having to lose them life. It triggered off a war, even a fine. People literally lose them life a fine over that Jati is dead. But now there was a huge gap. Who was going to be the next Don, right? As I said, people, the transition really wasn't smooth because guess what? There was a divide. On one side, there was Liberty and Chris Royal. On the other side, there was Christopher and Sandra, right? Now, remember, people, Christopher, aka Doros, Jati, and Sandra share the same mother, right? So if Jati was the Don, then it's only natural that Christopher, who was Jati's brother in the same side of the family, would expect to be the Don. But guess what? Liberty was preying differently. Understand this, people. The divide in the family went straight down to the point of how the children were raised. See, Liberty and Chris Royal never get the full luxuries what Dodos and Jati and Sandra get. Right, let's just put it this way. Jati and Dodos and Sandra were given the more, how would I say, the more typical family structure, right? Jim Brown was more, you know, when you have multiple pitney all over the place, the man tend to have one family where him kind of, or put more time and money, and time is a big thing in Israel. Pitney love time, right? Dodos and Sandra and Jati got more time with Jim Brown than Liberty and Chris Royal. But Liberty and Chris Royal, because them never get the full luxury, cushy living, of course them get their money and everything, but them never get the polished treatment what the others get. Because of that, them grew up rougher. So Liberty and Chris Royal were the two roughest ones outside of Jati, right? Because by now Jati gone, right? So Jati gone. Liberty and Chris Royal were now the two rough ones. Dodos, who was a more reserved youth, as me say go Arden, at that point never really follow up the badness. Liberty believes that as the bigger youth, he should be the Don. Right? Liberty wanted to be the Don, and Chris Royal backed Liberty being the Don. But Christopher was who the people wanted. And when I say the people, I don't necessarily mean the people of West Kingston, but also the people who the political side of it. Because there's a political element to becoming a Don. It's not just what you want, right? Let's just for argument's sake, let's call them the commission. The political commission wanted Dodos to be the Don because Dodos was more, let's just say he wasn't as trigger happy as Liberty. Liberty was more hardcore. Liberty was more in your face, come for you, kind of like a bad man, not a rah, right? That's not who people wanted to be the Don. People wanted somebody who was more level-headed, somebody who they could reason with, somebody who was more of a diplomat, right? And Dodos fitted that bill better than Liberty. So Dodos ended up become the Don. But that breed resentment between Dodos and Liberty and Chris Royal, right? The divide was there. People understand this. Even though Dodos was the Don, he never had total control over West Kingston. He didn't. Liberty a theme soldier them. Chris Royal a theme soldier them, right? And they were like mini Dons under the big Donship of Dodos, right? But at Liberty and Chris Royal, they would get up and do things on their own accord without Dodos' permission. A perfect example of this was how Chris Royal lose his life. Remember, people, enough people probably heard of a man by the name of Zion Train, right? Now, Zion Train was a well-known 87 down there in West Kingston, right? Big man on the block, everybody rate Zion Train. Well, when Zion Train lost his life, right, he was killed by the security forces. Chris Royal take it upon himself to go kill back a police in revenge for Zion Train. And this is how Chris Royal would end up losing life. Him and one bridging named Jello roll up on a bike, right, and decide say them are going to take out back a police for what happened to Zion Train, right, and them end up pull up on a policeman by the name of Corporal Hewitt Chandler, right. He worked for the Protective Services. He was sitting in a mark yard near Waterloo there, so, and Chris Royal and Jello pull up on the policeman randomly and just take his life, because as I said, they were just moving around looking for any random police they can find to deal with, right? And that is the attitude of Guardman back then. People remember at this time Guardman thinks them untouchable, right? So even police was fair game to them. However, very unlucky for them is that the man them end up swag and run down upon them, right? And they were killed. So now word get back around the garden, say Saint Aubin Coke, aka Chris Royal, or Royal Blend, right, was now dead. Dodos did not sanction this attack. It was Chris Royal who took it upon himself to go shoot the police. Chris Royal could do that because, as I said, he was his own Don. And from morning, he did believe that him can do him feel like anyway, right? So that's why I said from the start, Dodos was not in total control. In total control means that any ops to go on, you have to get permission from Dodos. Chris Royal will take it up on himself to do this. And of course, you probably remember what happened after Chris Royal dropped out, right? The man him end up start take out the random police again, right? And even a security guard, I think he was from Marksman, end up losing life. And Nunopus, of course, was blamed for that. Of course, no harm to Nunopus down the road. But people, that was just an example that, as I said, even though Dodos was the Don, Chris Royal and Liberty them, they have them own as soldiers, and them could go up on them own apps and mash them own works. And if Dodos was vex, him want vex, right? People, they were never united from the start. Then it always feels them could have do them own thing from the start. Now, let me just add this in, people. Now, there was another sister, right? They used to call her Mumpy. I don't really hear much people talk about her. I think it was about 1986 when the man them end up shoot her man, right? So them kill Mumpy man. And as she was laying over her man a ball, right? Because obviously them lay him out straight flat in the streets. As she was laying over her man and I shed tears, people, the man them go down there, go shoot her too, right? This was an extraordinary act. Right, that is why enough people don't know about Mumpy, because she died. I think Jim Brown did avoid Barbara, right? People, the amount of people will lose their life over that Mumpy shooting, right? I just want to put it in here because I hardly hear people talk about Mumpy. Enough people talk about, of course, the Liberty and the Dodos and the Chris Royal, but Mumpy, and there's not much information out there as well. But people, enough people from Spangler's side are Luklin and in place that used to get shoot up on the regular because of what happened to Mumpy, right? But anyway, people, what I want to show you, or what I've been trying to show you, is that even though Dodos was considered done and him run out of the place, and it sounded like a smooth transition, it really wasn't, right? There were a lot of people in West Kingston who never believed Dodos should have become the Don, but really and truly, it was that section of West Kingston, it was being led by his own brothers, Liberty and Chris Royal. Them believed that them was more hardcore than Dodos. Them believed that because them grew up more grimy than Dodos, that they were better qualified to become Dons. But people, a big part of being a Don is diplomacy, right? And having diplomatic skills, you can deal with certain people and negotiate certain deals. And if things don't go your way, you might, instead of immediately resorting to violence, you probably pick up the phone and call and actually talk to somebody. That is why Dodos was selected to be the Don by the political commission, in my opinion, and the people they want Dodos to, right? The majority at least, because Liberty was more of a hothead. Liberty was more of a quote-unquote bad man Don, right? Him and Chris Royal, them two there, will touch the streets and then we gonna look for you, right? Dodos, no, he wasn't really that type. Right, he probably became it later on down the road, but initially, when he became the Don in his early 20s, right, he really wasn't. And Liberty and Chris Royal them did a look say, oh, this little youth who, in a fit mind, grew up soft, must come to Don over we, right? So people, that is really why I said the Coke family is divided or was divided. And if you notice, as soon as Dodos left West Kingston, Liberty made his own claim for the throne. But the people then of West Kingston did not want Liberty. At least, I'm sure he had his fans, of course. Some people back him, yes. But the masses in West Kingston were not saying make Liberty the Don, because, as I said, he lacked diplomacy skills. He was more of a heavy-handed, iron-fisted kind of Don, and the people might already gotten used to those style of leadership. So when they start a Liberty come, people be a problem. So that is why you notice from Dodos gone, West Kingston gets split up, and enough people even try to push out some of the Coke family, right? But the thing is, when you hear people say them push out the Coke family, the next question you have to ask is which side, right? Because it's not like the Coke family is one united front. They really aren't, right? They're really not people. So I just wanted to give you that brief look, or this brief look on the Coke family and how Dodos become the Don, right? And just to show you how even in the badness, the whole Pitney being raised in separate homes can breed contempt, right, and cause all kind of animosity down the road. A lot of people who are listening to me now probably are familiar with this scenario. When you grow up in a family where maybe your daddy grew up with him other family, so you probably envied Theme brother and sister them, Theme Pitney them will grow up under Theme wing, right? Or you might have been raised with your daddy, and you know say you have siblings with your father and living at the house with them, and you know say them envy you and resent you. People, this is just normal children. No matter how bad people want to be, at the end of the day, they are human beings, right? And if one sister Pitney, say next sister Pitney, I get certain things and feel like say them sister Pitney, I get pushed ahead of them because of this and because of that. People, it breed resentment, it breed contempt, and that was a rampant in the Coke family and West Kingston, right? So I hope this brief outlook on the structure and the division within the Coke family just enlighten a few people as to how those end up becoming Don effectively and why certain people don't want Liberty to run off West Kingston. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Please like, comment, and share the video. Bless.